In this video, I'll walk you through setting up the PS4 emulator called ShadPS4. You can check the compatibility details on the ShadPS4 homepage, which you can access via the link in the description below. As of this video, the latest version of the emulator is 0.40, which is available on the official site and GitHub. If you're watching this later, I'll also include a link to the GitHub page in case a newer version is released there first. To begin, go to the Downloads section at the top of the page. The emulator is available for Windows, Linux, and Mac. Since I'm using Windows, I'll download the Windows QT version. After downloading, I move the file to my desktop. If you don't have 7-zip installed on your PC, there's a link in the description for that. Download and install 7-zip, which we'll use to extract the emulator files. Once installed, right-click on the downloaded file and extract it. After extraction, you'll have a new folder with the extracted files, and you can delete the zip file. Next, open the folder and launch the emulator. When prompted to add a directory for games and DLC, we'll skip this step because we'll use the emulator itself to load the PKG files. Click Cancel on the pop-up. Now, go to the File menu and select Install Packages. Then locate your PS4 ROM files. Make sure they're in PKG format. Select your game, click Open, and then click OK to start the extraction process. This might take a while. Once it's finished, your game will be loaded into the emulator. To change the game display, go to View and select Grid View under Game List mode. If you'd prefer a list view, you can switch it back. In List View, you can see the current game version. My game is currently on version 1.0, but if you have an update file, you can install it. To do this, go back to File, select Install Packages, and find the update file. I have mine on the desktop. Once you open it, a prompt will ask if you'd like to install the update. Click Yes, and the update will install. After that, you'll see the new version, 1.09, next to the game title. Now, let's adjust the settings. Under Emulator, check Enable Full Screen. In the Graphics section, click the drop-down menu next to Auto Select and choose your graphics card if you have one. To increase the resolution, adjust the width and height settings. I recommend setting it to 720p or 1080p, as anything higher may cause the game to crash. Click Apply and Save. By default, the emulator will detect and map buttons for any PS4 or PS5 controller connected to your PC before opening the emulator, so there's no need to configure it manually. If you don't see a controller menu, that's why. After loading ShadPS4, I saw that an update was available, so I upgraded to version 0.41. To check if you're running the latest version, go to the Help menu and select Check for Updates. If there's a new version, it will appear here. Additionally, in the settings under Update, make sure you're set to the nightly build for the latest updates. Now, let's connect my QRD Spark N5 controller to the PC. Thank you to QRD for sending out this controller for review. But before we test it out, let's do a quick unboxing. So basically, Box shows off the 4 key features of controller, which are Hall Effect joystick, 6-axis gyroscope, 9-color LED light, and programmable turbo and macro buttons. This is on top of the features that are available on traditional PS4 and PS5 controller from the touchpad, vibration, and light bar. Once we open up the box, we are greeted with the controller itself, which comes in a black color layout, is still similar to DS4, but form factor reminds me of the Nintendo Switch Pro controller. Inside, we also have a manual, which should show how to map out the macros and change lightning colors. There is also a phone clip, which you can attach to the controller if you want to do some remote play. We also have a Type-C cable. At least we don't have to deal with micro USB. And we also have a PS5 wireless adapter and converter if you want to run the controller on PS5. In addition to the traditional DS4 buttons, the controller also features programmable paddle buttons at the back, which can be quite useful for fast-paced games since your middle fingers are naturally positioned there when gripping the controller. Here, you can see the Spark N5 alongside the PS5 controller. The Spark N5 also includes a speaker and a headphone jack, similar to the PS5 controller, as well as a turbo button that simulates repeated button presses. There's also a set button that lets you remap buttons and adjust the lighting. On top, next to the light bar and USB-C port, you'll find a slot for the mobile phone clip. Simply slide it in, place your phone, connect via Bluetooth, and you're all set for mobile gaming. When you're finished, just remove the clip. Now, let's connect my QRD Spark N5 controller to the PC, and I'll load up the game Bloodborne to show you how it runs. While the game doesn't use analog triggers, we didn't notice any input lag, making it good for competitive gamers, all in all. If you want to have an alternative PS5 or PS4 controller that also works on PS3 mobile and PC, definitely consider QRD Spark N5. In case if you are interested to buy one, you can find the link in description. Thank you.